Hello everybody, it is Tuesday and it's 2 o'clock, so that means it is time for Top 5 Tuesday. I am your host from Crate Insider. I'm Kate Dillon, and I want to welcome you to the show. Now, each week I like to bring out an item that we talk about as a featured item, and so we're just going to break out with that, and then I'll talk to you about what I'm giving away. So one thing that came up on our Unsealed show on Sunday, we had several questions about how to break in an engine properly, which Steve answered on Unsealed, so you can check that out over on our YouTube channel, our Facebook channel. It's probably up on the website, and it's also a podcast, so you can, if you want to join us on the podcast, it's CrateInsider'spodcast.com, and you can, listen to us each week where we jibber jabber. We talk about current events. We drink alcoholic beverages, mostly adult beverages, I should say, because I don't want to use, any words that are going to get me banned, like the A word there. But so adult is okay. But we also answer a lot of tech questions, and break-in was definitely one of those questions. And one thing that came up is we were talking about break-in oils. So for a long time, Steve didn't actually recommend any break-in oils, and now we have two. So I want to feature one of them today. This is brand new from Daytona 1, and this is a break-in and racing oil. So what is really unique about this particular oil is it's formulated to be a great break-in oil, but a lot of your break-in oils, you're just going to run it for, just a very short period of time and then dump it and put in your regular oil. And when we're breaking in, one thing we want to do is we want to seat the rings, and so that's why you can't just dump in a full synthetic oil right into a brand new engine, otherwise your rings will never seat. So we want to use something that's going to allow that to happen, and this break-in oil will do that. But what's unique about it is then you can also use this as a racing oil. So you could, if you're going to break in your engine at the track, you could run a whole evening there. That's going to pretty much break in your engine. But then you could go ahead and run your oil for 2 to 3 races after that and go ahead and race on it as well. At the end of that period of time, then you're going to go ahead and dump it and put in a different oil. But you get a little bit more longevity out of this break-in oil. So that was really purpose. In fact, it's a PTRO oil, and that stands for Purpose Tuned Racing Oil. And of course, we've been working with Buck Parker over at Daytona 1 on these oils while he does all the work, and of course we test him out, and it's been a fabulous product. So highly recommend it. And this runs $13.95 a quart, so you can buy it by the quart. You could buy it by the case, but it's the same price either way by the quart, and that way you can get exactly what you need for your engine. And it's going to work for a 602, 604, 525, probably a whole lot of other stuff too, but that's what we focus on here at Crate Insider, is those 3 engine packages. So that's my featured item for today. And then let's go ahead and talk about what I'm going to give away. So the first thing I'm going to give away is I've got a t-shirt from Z-Max, and this one happens to be an extra large. So in order to win one of our live giveaways, all you need to do is leave a comment. So just drop in a comment. You can say hi, you can ask a question, you can drop in an emoji, kind of whatever. Just let us know you're here, and at the end of this video, then we'll use random number generator. I've got Alex helping it in the office today, and he will randomly pick some folks to win. So you'll win the Z-Max t-shirt right here, and we'll be talking about Z-Max just a little bit later on in the show today. The other giveaway that I have, if there is one thing that you want to buy for your race team this year, I'm going to recommend, especially if you have a crate late model or if you have a street stock, is to go to RaceLogic chassis schools. And that link is racelogic.vip. And this year we had some amazing chassis schools. The first one was in Tennessee and was a crate late model class. The second one was in Alabama at High Roller Chassis with Justin McCree. And of course there's a whole host of instructors as well. And that's going to be your metric street stock. Or if you're an IMCA stock car, we were with Mike Nichols in Nebraska, in Phillips, Nebraska, and we did that class. I filmed them all and put them over on, it's, RaceLogic isn't my company, but I work with Brian to try to bring this and broaden this information, so it's not just limited to the people in the room. And now you have an opportunity to purchase that class and see it for yourself, replay it over and over again as much as you want, and there is so much fantastic knowledge. And I just find myself on phone calls calls, constantly referencing information that I learned in those classes this year. I mean, they were incredible. So I highly recommend, if you know, really that edge today, I can show you all kinds of cool shiny products, which I absolutely love to do. But the truth is, how do you use those products to make your car go faster? That's what you learn in a chassis school, and that's knowledge. Knowledge and information is your edge today more than any of the, I wish my products were the top of the list, but truthfully, knowledge and information is going to get you a lot more wins than anything else. So I'm just going to recommend that. And you can win this shirt. This happens to be a, let's see, an extra large. They're both extra larges today. So you can win this. If you know what my sign said last week, not last year. I don't even know what my sign said last year. But if you know what my sign said last week, drop that into the comments, and then we will do a separate drawing for that. So I'm going to say hi to some folks, and then we will jump into the top 5 this week. So I see Scott's here from California, and Andrew's here, and hi Doug, and Alan, and Mike, and Steve, and Lucas, Tommy, Donnie. I've got, oh, and I see some folks know. Bill's here. And he's like, Kate, sorry, I dropped my question on the floor. Bill's always got something witty to say. I love that. Love it. I see Chris is here, and Jim from Asheville, Terry, and wonderful. So let's go ahead and jump into our top 5 this week. And I mentioned earlier we were going to be talking about Z-Max again. And this is one of my new favorites from Z-Max. And this is the Z-Max Speed Wax. I love how it smells. And of course, it leaves a very shiny surface. And you know, that is one of those little tips and tricks, you know, that you want to keep dirt off of your car. You want to keep that. Aerodynamics is, we don't give it nearly as much credit as we should sometimes, especially on the dirt racing. But you know, having a good wax that's going to keep that dirt from sticking to your car is going to help you flow through that air a little bit more. And I love the Speed Wax. So I feel like this is a great product, and it's in our top 5 this week. So it's in the number 5 spot, and this runs $6.99 for, I think this is probably a quart. It's 24 ounces. So whatever it's not, 32 ounces in a quart, but so 24 ounces, you know, ready to go, spray bottle, ready to go, everything. All right, next up in the number 4 spot, well, I can see I've actually been selling a lot of hubs this time of year, and it could have made the top 5 list, but so I'm just going to mention Winter's hubs are fantastic. And for any of you who are going with oil-filled hubs, you know, we do talk about Daytona 1 a lot, but because they make some amazing products. So this is RHO, which is racing hub oil, and here's a great oil to be using in your hubs if you are using oil-filled hubs rather than, you know, your greased hubs. You want to use this. Is a great fluid to use inside of your hubs. So RHO, and this one runs $20.87 a quart. I have a feeling this would probably do your whole set of your whole car. Am I right, Alex?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that'll more than enough for your whole car, so you'll be good to go. In fact, I mean, it reminds me of a tech tip, but it's been a while since I've looked at it. But as far as like how much you want to fill up your oil, I apologize. I'm gonna like allude to a tech tip that I don't actually have the answer to, so I apologize. But there's definitely a fill level, and you don't want to go over or under that. You want to be right at that right thing. So next up. Oh yeah, I can see y'all are getting ready for air and getting all your cars put together, because we've been selling a ton of the flat air filter bases. Now I want to throw this out there because I have been getting some questions on the phone with folks asking me. They're saying, hey, I'm seeing this air filter base. Is it going to work great for my car? And the answer is, I'd love to say yes to everybody, but it's not necessarily. It just depends. So if you have a 2-barrel carburetor, these really aren't going to do a lot for you. I'm just going to throw that out there. So if it's got a 2-barrel carburetor with a choke horn, it's not necessarily the best solution. These do work incredibly well, especially with the billet center sections for the 4 barrels. If you've got the other style, it's okay, it's good, but especially with the billet center sections, they perform the best. And this is our Crate Insider flat air filter base. This happens to be the mill finish, and if you wanted to catch last week's show, I brought one of these in and I accidentally had a scratch and dent one. So if you want to see, if you're thinking, hey, I want to save a couple dollars, you can go with a scratch and dent version of this, and it really is just like scratch and dent. It's not mangled in a ball. I had one on the show last week, and it was pretty indicative of what they look like. It's where like you just kind of we end up kind of smashing not smashing, but like denting the sides. It literally is scratch and dent. Well, mostly dent. Mostly dented but not mangled. So completely usable, really easy to fix. And so if you wanted to save a little bit of money, you can certainly shop in our sales section in the scratch and dent, and I think, you know, everybody's been super happy with them. A lot of questions, but they've been super happy. But otherwise, this runs $99.50, and it does come with the seal ring. It's a 1/2-inch seal ring, so that way you're ready to go. You can go ahead and put it right there on top of your carburetor. All right, next up in the number 2 spot is our NGK spark plugs. So spark plugs are super popular, and you know, there's something that you want to change, you know, on a pretty frequent basis. And this was a question again that came up on Unsealed, so I'm kind of bringing up a few of the products that we talked about. We get a lot of that question, like what spark plugs to use, you know, what kind of fuel. And these we found the NGKs. This is the R5724-8s, and we have found these to be just a universal great solution, whether you're running 85, whether you're running pump gas, whether you're running like CHP, if you're running any of those. We found this to be a fantastic solution for all of those different fuels, and whether you're running a 602 or a 604. So they've been great for that. And these run $22.32 for a set, and that's just how we sell them. We don't sell them by the spark plug. We just go ahead and sell you a set of 8, because that's how many cylinders are in a Crate engine. And then now, actually before I get to my top spot, I'm gonna see if anybody has any questions here, and then we'll do our drawings here. Let's see, Alan says, what is the best coil in MSD box? Well, I think sometimes, Alan, that just depends on your rules. So, you know, we have a lot of people who use like the 6AL or the 6ALN. With that, they're going to use that MSD blaster coil, the 8252, I believe, off the top of my head. I think we have the 8250 on the website too, but generally it's like the 6AL, 6ALN, and like the 8250 or 8252 if you want to go the MSD route. And then, of course, we've got the whole complement of fast items as well. Okay, what's another one? Oh, Steve's wearing his Crate Insider shirt right now. Awesome. You got one ahead of me, because I'm not even. I am wearing my Profab shirt though. So I'm gonna see Profab. In fact, I mean, I should probably have led this with, if any of you are going to be at Bristol next week, I will be at Bristol next week. I'm getting very excited, trying to gather up some products, and you know, if there's something that you guys want me to bring, if you're gonna be at Bristol, you want me to bring it so that you don't have to pay shipping on it, I am more than happy to. Just give me a ring, and we can go ahead and make some pre-arrangements, and that way I can get that all dialed in and get you all ready and set to go. Oh gosh, we've got Donald here from Wyoming, and Dave's here, and I see Chastity. Great. So there's, yeah, good tips. So fantastic. And Danny received his shirt from last week and says thank you. So, you know, I want to thank you all for being here. Oh, it means so much to me. I mean, it's Tuesday in the middle of the afternoon, you know, like it's crazy. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to our top spot, and then we'll do some giveaways. I have them right here. And this week is our Schaefer's oil. This is a 1030. This is our great go-to oil. It works whether it's a 602, 604, 525. It's a great balance. It has great protection in your engine, and the numbers come out really nice too. So this is a really good go-to oil. I sell 2 oils. I sell this one, and I sell the Daytona 1 oil. And yeah, this has been a great go-to. Very, you know, universal, great feedback that we've received from our customers. A lot of winning races with the Schaefer's oil. So, you know, a big thank you. My rep Doug Smith is just absolutely fantastic. Love working with him. And so, you know, I'm just going to give him a shout out. So if you've got fleets and that type of thing, and, you know, maybe fleets of trucks or your heavy equipment or whatever, and you're looking for a Schaefer's rep, you know, hit me up and I'll connect you guys, because Doug is just, I've been working with him for years now, and really, you know, he's always taken really good care of me, and I really appreciate that. So Schaefer's oil in the top spot this week. All right, so let's do our giveaways. That was like pretty short and sweet today. So first of all, we have for commenting, and you're gonna win the ZMAX shirt here. So I've got Kevin McFarland. So Kevin, if you would, please send Crate Insider a private message with your address, and we'll get this sent out to you. And then for knowing what my sign said last week, I have this Race Logic t-shirt, and again, I'm going to encourage you guys, the best tool you have this year is knowledge, and Race Logic is a way to go. And the Race Logic t-shirt is going to Donnie Wamsley. quickly. So Donnie, if you would, please send Crate Insider a private message with your address and we will get your shirt sent out to you. I want to thank you all for being here. Thank you for being part of the show. And I will, well, I'm going to be in Bristol next week, so I don't know what that's going to be like with signal and stuff, but I will try to do some check-ins and some live shows next week and just saying hi to folks. So tune into Crate Insider. Be sure you're following our page, and I think we're going to have some exciting, fun stuff next week at Bristol, and I look forward to seeing you there. Have a great week.